What news would break this market? It's interesting. This market has clung to every shred of minutely good news for massive rallies and completely disregarded anything bad for months. So my fellow regards. What headliner would DCK slap the market into fear? It would have to be something pretty big, so there's no room for rationalization. Need my popcorn for the comment section. Some of my guesses. China moves on Taiwan. Russia deploys nukes on border and escalates. Deflation or stagflation data. Broad earnings decline QQ. Need my popcorn for the comments. World peace. Taylor Swift leaked sex tape with Danny DeVito. Number of trades would go down by a significant percentage as nobody would be interested in anything but watching it. Earnings have been going down for 4 quarters, no one cares. Stonks go up. Higher CPI despite higher interest rates. Almost certainly going to be due to defaults on commercial real estate debt obligations, up 47 in the last 12 months. Occupancy rates are far too low and underwriting is all based on pre-pandemic rent rates. Class A office is currently trading at 2007-2008 type rates and still declining. Regional banks are going to get caught with their pants down. This will trigger a 2008 type collapse. Markets are about liquidity and we live in a debt-based system. Therefore, the only news that moves markets are the news that result in credit contraction. If a UFO lands on top of Biden and little green regards jump out and show us their portfolios, this market still wouldn't break. Gourd crop collapse announced. An honest inflation number. Elon turns Enron. Tesla breaks it all and they all say who could have seen this coming? IMG emote T52TH524271. When TikTokers, YouTubers and influencers find real jobs. A gamma ray burst hitting Earth. New Lil Yachty album. A real recession. An 80s-style jump in interest rates would likely create a much-needed reset in the housing market. And investors would move to overweight positions in bonds and cash. Aliens are real. They are here. They have a machine that produces unlimited energy and the only byproduct is gold and free housing. Arizona iced tea and Costco hot dogs going to $2. This is just in. Nvidia lied about AI, the world's greatest sham. Co-Carrot Kramer getting a prediction right. A major terrorist attack in a Western country, an outbreak of a new, deadly virus. When all the rainbow bear in here stop being bearish. President Kamala Harris would be pretty wild. Alien invasion god reveals himself. Jim Cramer says the economy will be great forever. Seriously. It doesn't take much. Just one day it all flips and the panic that's been on delay finally begins. We're in that eye of the hurricane stage without the benefit of overhead satellite vision. We think it's safe now to go outside. That the worst is over. But it's probably not. The crescendo of our collective misery awaits. IMG emote T52TH52-12787. Taylor Swift farts during interview. Tactical nuke in Ukraine. Janet Yellen sex tape. Aliens have arrived at strategic points around the world. For 3 weeks they have simply been benignly hovering while continuously broadcasting an unknown and complex mathematical message on repeat. Scientists from around the world work tirelessly in unison to finally crack the code, and the Pentagon reads the message live on air for the first time. We do not come in peace. Fuck your calls. Gay alien bears for life. Fubu merges with KFC. making Tron the richest person on earth because he had KFC calls. Minnesota Timberwolves win the NBA championship. Buddy. Everyone knew. Bears always sound smart. The worry always prevails. At no point does CNBC go, "We can't find any bears." There's been a convincing bear narrative through every single bull run. And bulls get laughed at through it all. For being dumb. 'Cause obviously we should worry. NASDAQ top 100 companies announce a joint venture to have Dylan Mulvaney as their spokesperson for the foreseeable future. Frankly, none of those. The market has become completely irrational. If all of the above happened at once, you'd still have a whole ton of regards construing it as good news and a buying opportunity. It's like in the hype of the dot-com days. The only thing that will fix this is a big, massive burst of the bubble, which will happen if and when corporations have over-leveraged against their inflated valuations. Revenues drop because inflation goes away, and they start defaulting, so that banks start pulling plugs. U.S. defaulting whenever. Jay Powell and Jimmy caught behind Wendy's. I wakes up and says no. Alien invasion interfering with election. Government shutdown goes into 2024. Trump acquittals. Trying to determine the next black swan event is impossible. Sort of thinking that you know how 0DTE will end up or down at the end of the day. External factors always play a role in breaking the market, but generally it is accompanied with tremendous leverage somewhere in the market. The market at times is inefficient, but it is really good at finding leverage combined with stupidity. This time the next black swan event could be triggered by all of us. Regards. Another person thinking his post will finally make things bearish. A random black swan event that nobody expects at all. Remember March 2020? Apple breaks ties with China, losing 19% of its market share, going into a free fall. Warren bought anime NFTs. Jim Cramer next chairman of the Fed. U.S. defaults on debt. Major downgrade of U.S. credit. Y'all need to learn to listen to the market instead of forcing your own useless opinions into it. Market goes up on bad news, market is strong and you should go long. Market goes down on good news, market is weak and you should go short. The less money you've made from trading, the more shit are your opinions. 9/11 Part 2. Rates, inflation data, U.S. consumers throw in the towel and stop spending paying debts. Me buying calls. I withdrew, appreciate my money from my trading account. Thinking about getting some calls for MSOS, the 13th of October expiry, and SPY calls. JPOW double pumps middle fingers on live TV. Vlad pushing the button. All bad news is good news. World peace or nuclear attack. Zelensky reveals that Ukraine has suitcase nuclear devices and already deployed them in splinter cells toward major Russian cities. I think the big one would be if the market corrected over 20 to 30%. And then inflation numbers came in high the month after that happened. We'd have to see that not only were we getting a hard landing, but that interest rates weren't high enough as it is. What you're looking for is called confirmation bias. There is going to be a new virus that actually kills people like the world was worried about. Large numbers of casualties, fear of going outside working, full-blown famine, mentality and hoarding. Capitalism cannot thrive if no one is buying stuff or producing it. Biden declared president for another 4 years. Lol. Oil suddenly $120 a barrel.